Now, we are all citizens of the same country. All of you live in Chennai. I suspect you agree with the results. Do you? If citizens have to take action, then we will also have to take action in terms of doing the right things for the climate. In Chennai specifically, you experience issues related to water availability from time to time. For many years, we've faced situations where there was water scarcity, and then in the last year, we've experienced floods, all of which is increased because of climate change. But you know, when you look at floods, main reason is not that we are getting too much rainfall. The main reason is that the channels through which the water goes to the sea or goes to the lake, they get blocked off. And when they get blocked off, the water accumulates and we have more serious floods than we need to have. You know, we've got the Mahindra World City in Chengalpet. One of the ways in which the city has been designed is that no natural water outlet has been blocked. So when the floods did occur in Chennai, Mahindra World City was the least affected. On one day when all the lakes overflowed, there was overflow in all the lakes, there was some flooding in the city, but that went away very quickly because the water went into the lake and as all the channels were open. Now you and I both know that as the city is developing, as the country is developing, many of us build on wetlands and on natural water channels and we just block them off. This results to flooding. So this is a key thing in alternativism. We will develop, we will need more buildings, we will need more structures, but then we have to build it in a way in which we do not cause damage to the environment. You and I as individuals have to look at ways of life by which we are able to help the environment. So I don't know if you can hire an electric car in Chennai. If you can, whenever you are hiring cars, you can ask for it. I do. I hire electric cars in Delhi. I know how to do it. I know the two companies that rent electric cars. So every time I travel to Delhi, I hire an electric car. We don't have to use plastic bags to carry groceries anymore. Just like our mothers used to do, we can carry cloth bags. And today I have a problem in my house of too many cloth bags and no plastic bags. So, but that's a good problem to have, right? So these are some small examples. In fact, if you walk into the restroom here in the hotel and you turn on the tap, you will find that the water from the tap is coming out like a shower. Now that's because they have put a little device called an aerator in it, which reduces the water flow by 30 to 40%. Our hands get cleaned, but we use less water. So these are all different ways. I mean, we could list out hundreds of ways by which we could live differently and enable climate action. What the survey showed is that people like you and me, the common person in Chennai and in India, wants to take climate action, understands climate change, but when it tries to take appropriate action, it does not always have alternatives available. So let's take some examples. If you wanted to take public transport, I know you've got a new metro, but I don't know if the metro will help you go from any point to any point in the city. I don't even know whether 20 years later it will help you achieve that. But if we were to have an extensive metro network and an extensive bus network, then you and I may be able to use public transport to go from place to place. That would reduce the congestion we have on the streets and that would improve air quality. Similarly, if you and I wanted to, let's say, figure out a way of living in a building which uses less energy, how would we do it? If we have an alternative of finding a green building to live in, which consumes less electricity, and there are many such buildings in India today, then we would be able to live a life that requires less electricity, even though we will be using the same amount of light and fan and everything else. The thing is, these green buildings are designed in such a way that the natural light is much higher. So the need for artificial light would go down. It's much easier to cool spaces because of the way it is designed. So if you have an air conditioner, you will use it for a shorter period of time. Bags that are climate friendly, everything we carry should be climate friendly. And we need a situation where companies help recycle material so that there is a circular economy and we don't use and throw, and that the things that we throw doesn't end up in the water bodies like the rivers and the lakes and the sea and so on. In fact, one of the things which we have a lot of actually, if we recycle what we use, is water. Think about this. You don't need fresh water for construction. So why do we use fresh water for construction, especially in a place like Chennai, which is water scarce? If we were to take recycled water, if we were to take water from the effluent treatment plants and the sewage treatment plants, we would have enough water for construction and more. You don't need fresh water for gardening. You don't need fresh water for landscapes. But if we have a good system of getting recycled water, then we can reduce the fresh water requirement, and maybe Chennai, even in low rainfall areas, years, will not experience a water scarcity. So these are the things that citizens of India are telling us through the survey. They're saying that we are aware, we want to take action, but even when we want to take action, we don't have alternatives available to us. So give us alternatives. And that's the clarion call to businesses of all kinds. And that's the reason why Mr. Mahindra says that climate change is the biggest business opportunity for this generation.